let us discuss what will be nature of the image when we have refraction at spherical surface, right? And if you see here, this is now spherical surface which is separating these two media, and their refractive indices are mu1 and mu2. Let us take now object on the convex side. What I am saying is, let us take object on the convex side. Distance is now x, right? Now image is depending on the values of mu1 and mu2. Now see carefully. So taking the refraction equation, mu2 by v minus mu1 by the coordinate u, it is now minus x. Since x is now distance, that is equal to mu2 minus mu1 by r. Then mu2 by v is equal to mu2 minus mu1 by r minus mu1 by x. Now see carefully in this one. If we take mu2 greater than mu1, that means, see children, mu2 greater than mu1, that means rays entering into denser medium. Object is in rarer medium, rays entering into denser medium. In such a case, mu2 minus mu1, it is a positive, and in this, according to our sign convention, are also positive. So this total value is positive. And coming to here, mu1, it is a positive value, and x also positive value. Therefore, this total value may be positive or may be negative depending on the distance of the object from the surface, because remaining values like mu1, mu2 and r are fixed values. That means the image may be real or may be virtual depending on the value of x. So here conclusion is, when object is on convex side of the boundary and it is in rarer medium, in such a case image may be real or may be virtual depending on distance of the object from the boundary. Let us take now the second case, that is keeping the object in denser medium. Then see what happens. If object is in denser medium, mu1 greater than mu2, you can see here, mu1 greater than mu2. In such a case, mu2 minus mu1 is negative. Now this total value is negative and this is also negative. See carefully, this is negative and this is negative. That means total value is negative. That means for any non-zero value of x, v will be negative. That means when object is on convex side and in denser medium, image is always virtual, right? This is a conclusion. Okay, now let us take object on the concave side. See here. So here we have taken object on concave side and distance of object, take it as x, right? Now see carefully. Once again, if you take mu2 greater than mu1, so meaning of this is mu2 greater than mu1 means object is in rarer medium, this is now denser medium, right? Now see carefully, mu2 by v is equal to mu2 minus mu1 by r. Here r will be, it is taking minus r because it is according to the sign convention. So minus r minus mu1 by x. Since we have taken it is mu2 greater than mu1, so mu2 minus mu1 positive. This is minus r, so total value is negative. Therefore, this total value is also negative. That means irrespective of the value of x, image is always virtual. Okay, now just see once again. When you are taking the object on concave side and it is in rarer medium because mu2 greater than mu1, in such a case, irrespective of the position of the object, image is always virtual, right? Now let us take mu1 greater than mu2. That means you are keeping the object in denser medium on concave side, right? Now see carefully. So mu2 minus mu1, this is negative, and this is also negative, total value positive. This is a positive and this is a positive, then total value may be positive, may be negative. That means image may be real, may be virtual. So conclusion is, when object is on concave side and it is in denser medium, then image may be real, may be virtual, depending on the position of the object. Now understand what we discussed now by taking a numerical problem. Right, taking mu1 1 and mu2 is 2. Now object is on convex side at a distance x, right? Now see here, mu2 by v is equal to mu2 minus mu1 by r minus mu1 by x. So mu2 it is 2, mu1 is 1, so it is 1 by r is now, r is a 10 and according to sign convention it is positive. So it is 1 by 10 minus 1 by x. So from this we can say, if x is greater than 10, v is positive. If x is less than 10, v is negative. That means when x is greater than 10, image is real. If x is less than 10, image is virtual. If we take x equal to 10, then question comes, what happens? Then rays will become parallel, then image will be at infinity. Okay now students, that means when we take object on convex side and object is in rarer medium, then image may be real, may be virtual, depending on the values of x. Here x is distance of the object, right? Okay, now take the second case. Now here also object is on convex side, but now it is in denser medium. Now see carefully, mu2 minus mu1 by r minus mu1 by x. So mu2 minus mu1, 1 minus 2 minus 1, r value according to sign convention it is positive, that is 10. So minus 1 by 10 minus 2 by x. Since x is a distance, it is a positive, therefore this total value for any non-zero values of x, v will be negative. That means image is always virtual. See the next example. Let us take object on concave side. Earlier we have taken on convex side, right? So it is on concave side. It is in denser medium because mu1 is 2 and mu2 is 1, right? Now see here, mu2 minus mu1, mu2 2, mu2 is 1 and mu2 is 1 and mu1 is 2. So it is now minus 1 by minus 10 according to sign convention, minus 2 by x. Therefore minus gets cancelled, it is now 1 by 10. So it is now, if x greater than 20, see carefully, x greater than 20, v value positive. That means we are going to get a real image. If you take x less than 20, then v is negative. That means rays will diverge. If you extend them back, we get image. So it is now a virtual image. And if you take x equal 20, after refraction rays will become parallel. That means image will be at infinity. So conclusion is, when object is on concave side and it is in denser medium, image may be real or may be virtual, depending on the position of the object, right? And see the next one. And here also we are taking on concave side object, but it is in rarer medium. Okay now, right? Now see what we get, mu2 minus mu1, it is 1, r value according to sign convention it is minus 10 minus 1 by x. That means in this, for any non-zero value of x, v will be negative. That means image is always virtual. That means conclusion is, now when object is on concave side and it is in a rarer medium, image is always virtual. when you're having the refraction at spherical surface. So we have seen like on convex side 2 cases, on concave side object 2 cases. So this is what we have discussed. Now let us take one problem just to understand what we have learned. Okay, now take this problem. There is a spherical boundary, mu1 equal to 3 and mu2 equal to 4. That means object is in this middle, somewhere this is now object. Okay students, now take this problem, mu1 equal to 3, mu2 equal to 4, radius of curvature is 20, right? Now question is, if x equal to 50, what is nature of the image? If x equal to 90, what is nature of the image? Okay, now right now, right, what is the answer? Okay, very good. Right, see once how to solve this one. So equation is now mu2 by v minus mu1 by u equal to mu2 minus mu1 by r. Right, so mu2 by v is equal to mu2 minus mu1 by r minus mu1 by u. Right, now substitute values. Right, so mu2 by v is equal to mu2 minus mu1, mu2 4 minus 3 by r is now positive according to sign convention, right? Okay, so 4 minus 3 by 20, so 4 minus 3 is 1, so 1 by 20 minus mu1 is 3 by x, it is now distance of the object, right? Now see what we get here, mu2 by v is equal to 1 by 20 minus 3 by x. That means if x is greater than 60, v positive. So what is the meaning of v positive? Right, v positive means image is, yes, image is real. Right, next, x is less than 60, then v is negative. So what is the meaning of negative? Right, so v negative means image is virtual, right? Now see the question given, x equal to 50, right, first one. So x equal to 50 means it is now less than 60. That means v value negative. So v negative means image is virtual, right? So for the first one, image is virtual, right? And second one, it is now given 90. So 90 means it is now greater than 60. So greater than 60 means v is now positive. So v positive means image is real, right? Therefore, for the first one, answer is, it is negative virtual. So I am writing here for first one, image is virtual, right? And the second one, image is, it is real. So whenever object has some size and it is kept normal to the principal axis, then we speak about a transverse magnification. Now you can see height of object, it is h0, and height of image, it is now hi, and coordinates of object is now u comma 0 and that of image v comma 0, and this is now passing through center of curvature. That means there is no deviation. Therefore these two angles are same, right? So alpha equal to beta. Then from that we can say tan alpha is equal to, this is a tan alpha value and this is now tan beta value. And here once again I mentioned that we are taking all equations only for paraxial rays. That's why when we take a tan alpha, it is approximately equal to alpha. And when you take a tan beta, which is equal to this value by this one, see carefully, this is now radius of curvature. This total value is now, it is minus u plus r, and coming to this one, we can say this total one is equal to v, this total one from here to pole to up to that image, it is now v. From that subtract now r, so it is v minus r. So taking alpha is equal to beta, right? And why we have taken alpha and beta means since rays are paraxial, that's why tan alpha is equal to alpha tan beta is equal to beta, right? Now we require here in this the value of r. So to find the value of r, now take equation for refraction, that is mu2 by v minus mu1 by u is equal to mu2 minus mu1 by r. From this we get the value of r in terms of mu1, mu2, u and v. Now substitute that value in this equation, right? Students, see carefully. We are getting the value of r from this equation. Substitute that in this equation. Then we are going to get, see here, magnification, or it is transverse magnification or lateral magnification. Both are same. That magnification is equal to height of image by height of object, and that is equal to, so after keeping that equation 2 in equation 1, we are going to get mu1 by mu2 into v by u. So this is expression for magnification, right? Now when m is positive, it is erect one. When m is negative, it is inverted, right? That means, see carefully, m equal to mu1 by mu2. This is a positive value. M positive means u and v should be having same sign. That means if object is real, then u negative. When u negative, if v also negative, so v also negative means image is virtual, then m is positive. That means it is erect one. M negative, inverted. Negative means, see carefully, if one is positive, other must be negative. If we consider a real object, u will be negative. When u negative, if v value positive, so v value positive means yes, it is a real image. So when we get for real object a real image, then it will be inverted. If you take for a real object, if you get a virtual image, that means both are negative, then total value positive. It is erect one. Now see here, types of lenses. So it is now biconvex lens. This is biconcave, plano-convex, plano-concave, convexo-concave, concavo-convex. You are having now different types of lenses like this. And here one important point is how to distinguish the given lens is a concave or convex. And that we can decide basing on the thickness of the lens. So it is, if you have more thickness at the middle than at the edges, that is a convex nature. If you see carefully, biconvex, plano-convex, you can see here biconvex, plano-convex and concavo-convex. In all these three, we are having the more thickness at the middle than at the edges. That is the way to identify convex lens. And if you see concave, biconcave, plano-concave, convexo-concave, in all these three you can see having less thickness at the middle than at the edges. So in that way, by seeing the thickness, we can decide is a lens having convex nature or concave nature, right? And we can see here one more diagram. Biconvex, this is a part of a sphere, right? And this is also a part of a sphere like this. That is what we are showing here. So this is a part of a sphere like this, and this is a part of a sphere like this. So one is R1 and one is R2. In the same way, it is now biconcave, R1, R2. And when you take concavo-convex, you are having now, this is a part of a sphere like this. And this is now part of a sphere like this. In the same way, convexo-concave, right? And here one important point is, which one is R1 and which one is R2. Many are having a confusion here, okay na? For example, if light rays coming from left side, that means the first incident on the surface, then Now this will be R1. Are you getting it? When light rays falling on this surface, in such a case, this will be that sphere. Then this is now R1. Then this becomes R2. Suppose if light rays are falling from this side, then this is now first surface. Therefore, this is R1 and this is R2. Okay, children. So this is regarding the types of lenses. Now let us discuss regarding lenses. First, focus what is the terminology regarding the lenses. So we are having here two refracting surfaces. You can see here. This is a part of a sphere like this, and this is now a part of a sphere like this. So R1 and R2. And having here two centers of curvature, C1, C2. Okay, students, see carefully. So two centers of curvature and two radii of curvature. Now in this, if you take the line joining two centers of curvature, it is called principal axis. What is that? It is the line joining the centers of curvature, that is called principal axis. And if you take midpoint of those two, means midpoint of C1, C2, that is called optical center. What is that? Optical center. Right. Now we define what is focus. Now see carefully. When rays are parallel to the principal axis, then after refraction they will converge at one point, and this point is called focus. So after refraction, rays are converging at one point, and that is called focus. Now distance of that focus from optic center is called focal length. Now in this diagram, if you see carefully, if light rays are falling on this surface, means now coming from right side, in such a case they will converge on left side. That means for a biconvex lens or for biconcave lens having one focus on each side, right? And distance of that focus from optic center is called focal length. In such a case, if we take same medium on both sides, if media on both sides is the same, then both the focal lengths will be the same, right? Now see here, in case of concave lens, when rays are parallel, see carefully, rays are parallel, after refraction they will diverge because it is a diverging lens. It has the diverging nature. And when you extend them back, then they will converge somewhere here. So this is the focus for concave lens. The same thing, when rays are traveling towards left side, then they will diverge like this, then converging on this right side. So in the same, it is also having two foci. That means one focus on each side, right? Next, when we are taking a parallel beam, so beam is parallel but not parallel to principal axis. Students, you should be very careful here. Previously we have taken rays parallel to principal axis, but now we are taking rays are parallel but not parallel to principal axis. In that case, image forms in the focal plane, not at the focus. So you should be very careful here. Image is not at the focus, it is in the focal plane. So now question comes, what is focal plane, right? Yeah. So focal plane means it is a plane which contains the focus and normal to the principal axis. See carefully. So this is a plane which contains focus and normal to principal axis. I repeat once, it is a plane which contains the focus and normal to the principal axis. That is a focal plane, right? And coming to the last one, it is when rays passing through the focus, after refraction they will become parallel. we can see in case of biconvex lens. And coming to here, the rays are, if you see rays, they are actually supposed to converge. Means if you are not having the concave lens, they will converge at this point. But since we have now here biconcave lens, it is now diverging them like this. That means after refraction they will become parallel. So this is the focus in this concave lens. So this is regarding types of lenses and some important ray diagram, right? Now let us recollect what we discussed in this episode. So first we focused when you're having object on convex side of the spherical surface, what will be nature of the image. So there we have discussed two types, right? Yes, in one case we have seen irrespective of position of the object, image always virtual. And in one case we got image may be real or may be virtual depending on the location of the object, right? Then we have taken object on concave side of the spherical surface. Again there we have taken two cases, right? The same kind of cases we got. And then we discuss what is a lens and types of lenses. And then we discuss what is a terminology and important ray diagrams.